I'm back to another video. Today we are in the Open Master League, and let's just try out a team here that is a little bit under-leveled, but we're going to see if we can get some wins with it. Got the Sylveon and the Rhyperior in the back. Rhyperior is still under-leveled, but mainly it's just to focus on these Dialgas and Metals. Here we have a great matchup, so we're just going to shield here and look for the farm down. We do get the farm down, which is fantastic. That's a job well done. And now we see that we can throw a Breaking Swipe back at this Palkia. This Palkia here is looking to try to farm us down, but we do get 2 Breaking Swipes and a debuff, so that's not bad. Gonna go back in here with the Sylveon. They swap out into the Primarina. So Primarina is kind of a quarter breaker. It is very tanky. You can see right here, this Giratina though is tanky itself. We do let the first one go here. It ends up being the Hydro Cannon. Luckily, we are able to survive that, and we are able to get to an Ancient Power, and we do grab a shield. So now we're going to see if we can win the game with the Sylveon. We have to shield here, as these Hydro Cannons would hurt. And you can see right there, we are able to match the Sylveon onto the correct dragon. So we are able to beat that Palkia, Dialga, Primarina team, which is pretty strong. All right, next game. We got the Sylveon versus the Xerneas. Not necessarily the best situation for us. We'd rather have the Sylveon onto the dragon, but this is the best we could do. We're going to stay in for now, as we don't really have a great counter to this. I'm going to go for this Side Shock right here to try to get a shield. No shield. That's a little bit unfortunate, as they're going to be able to get another move off. Lean Blast does take us out, but we are looking to get the farm down with the Rhyperior, and that's exactly what we do. Hoping that the Rhyperior with some energy will be able to win us the game. It looks like Palkia comes in here, so this is great news, as they have chosen a dragon for the... Okay, they switched out into the Rhyperior. We have the Giratina. We are going to take the first one. So you can see right here, this Rhyperior is at 4221, and ours is at 3733, so ours is under-leveled for sure. We are going to try to flip this game here, as... Oh, we get the debuff, unfortunately, so... That's going to be a little bit unfortunate. We're going to go for this Breaking Swipe to chip away, and we switch out of that situation. We get them to switch back out into the Palkia. Palkia is going to shield the first Breaking Swipe. We're going to shield here so that we can potentially get to another Breaking Swipe. Looks like we are going to build up to 2 Breaking Swipes. We're going to shield here, and then we're going to throw this Breaking Swipe. This is going to get the KO or the last shield, and decide to let it go. And then we're going to throw this Breaking Swipe here to see if we can debuff their Rhyperior. Unable to, and we're trying to get to a Dragon Claw. Unable to get to the Dragon Claw. We were 2 moves away from getting to it, so GG's to our opponent, unable to win that game. A little bit unfortunate is that the Giratina was 2 Shadow Claws away from the Dragon Claw, but even then, it still would have been tough. So, here is going to be difficult to deal. We're going to switch out into the Giratina. They match our Giratina with our Palkia. At least we're going to be able to use Dragon Claws, and just like that, we are at 2 Dragon Claws. This is going to get the shield or get it low enough, so they are going to throw the move right before we get to ours. They actually go for the Aqua Tail bait, and it looks like they are going to go for the back-to-back to take us out. Here we're going to go into our Sylveon to get the farm down. Unable to get the farm down, but they're going to throw another Aqua Tail here. That's fine. And then we know that they still have that Ho-Ohs to deal with. Here, we're going to try to get them to use some shields. We're going to go for this Breaking Swipe right here. Trying to get a debuff. Unable to get the debuff, though. We're going to continue throwing this Breaking Swipe here. Trying to get them to debuff and switch out, but they elected not to do it. Here, we're going to tank the Sacred Fire. And then we're going to see if we can get to another move. It does get them to switch out of that situation. They go into the Rhyperior. Rhyperior here is looking to get a lot of farm. And unfortunately, this Sylveon just is going to get out-bulked. Even though we are both doing some heavy fasting pressure, it looks like they are going to be able to take us out with the Rhyperior at the end right there. Yeah, I guess a couple things. We could have shielded that Ho-Oh, but that Sacred Fire is still doing a decent amount of damage, even though it's a resistant move. Okay, here we go. We got the Xerneas versus the Sylveon. We'll stay in and play this out. They are going to go from the Moonblast, and we're going to just build up energy here and throw this Moonblast as our own. This is going to get the shield or a lot of damage. They decide to shield here, so we do grab a shield out of this situation. We're going to let this one go. It ends up being the close combat, and they're going to debuff themselves. That means that we can shield here and easily farm down and hope that this Rhyperior will be able to win us the game in the back. They have these Zygarde, so Zygarde lurking in the back here is going to be okay. You can see they are going to build up a lot of energy. We're going to go this Breaking Swipe again. No debuffs, unfortunately, but our opponent here is going to be able to throw another Crunch, I believe. Okay, there's Crunch. We avoid the debuff. We're going to throw another Breaking Swipe. It does get it into the red, and it does get debuff, so that's good news for us. We are going to allow it to take us out, and we're looking for the farm with our Giratina. Unable to get the farm, but they have the Ho-Oh in the back. That's going to allow us to get to this Ancient Power. Ancient Power is super effective. They decided to tank the move. Here, we're going to have to tank the Sacred Fire. It does debuff us. So we're just going to apply the pressure going for this Dragon Claw here. Does grab a shield. And looks like we're going to have to shield right here. It ends up being the Brave Bird. They switch out into their Zygarde. We're going to take them out immediately with our Dragon Claw. Oh, unable to, but we're going to farm down. And now we're going to be able to have enough energy to take out that Ho-Oh. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Giratina in the back. Luckily, getting that Zygarde low enough that we can farm down and then come out with some energy, because that Ho-Oh was still at least, I think, 3 Incinerates away from their move. All right, here we go. We got the Primarina versus the Sylveon. It is running in Waterfall, I believe. So this is going to be, we're going to play this down the one shield. They decide to switch out and go into the Zacian. Zacian here is also going to be bad for our backline. We do go for the Moonblast, and we do get the debuff, so we're forcing them to use some energy right here. Ends up being the Wild Charge. Let's see. Okay, we're just going to tank this move. They do go for the double Wild Charge, and now they're double debuff, and hoping that we can farm them down. Unable to farm down, though. That's going to be tough as we play rough. Our opponent here switches out into this Xerneas in the back. Xerneas here is going to be awful for this Giratina. Very interesting triple fairy team here. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of answers to the fairy types. So this right here is going to just try our best to get this Xerneas as low as possible. You can see right here, we get to another Ancient Power. This Ancient Power here is going to get him into the red. Waiting for them to use a move, so we at least get them to use some energy here. Ends up being the close combat. I'm going back in here with the Rhyperior. We have to shield. It's going to be double debuff, so let's see if that Must-Have does go through. Doesn't go through. We go for the Breaking Swipe bait here. We need to get the shield, and we do get the shield, but unfortunately, they are going to be able to farm us down. So GG's to our opponent. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.